This is JK Games, a game podcast where we bring you the news and reviews we care about. And tonight I'm hosting or semi-hosting this incredible show. I'm Jerica. Did I mention that already? And this is a little different tonight. If you notice, Kayla isn't here. She's either on vacation or she is literally Samus. I think
think
she's
so
not
too.
here and the game came out. Right?
Yeah. Those aren't
Did y'all
mutually
think
exclusive.
that?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I've never seen Samus and Kayla in the same room at the same time.
Correct. So there's some investigating going on
That's
later.
true.
And those beautiful voices you heard me are Josh and Jordan, and they're joining me tonight. And we're rolling, scanning, and opening some very specific kind of organic sci-fi doors. Tonight,
Yeah.
we're going to open a lot of doors, and I have a lot of questions about these doors. And if you haven't noticed, we are going to be talking about Metroid 4 Prime Beyond. Is that all the title? Is there any more to that title?
I think
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, but yes.
Oh, excuse me. Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. Have to do that.
Beyond.
Of course. And obviously, I had to invite Jordan onto the show tonight because I am, and I mean, Josh is here. Thank God. Nintendo expert over here. So I want to be a part of this conversation and say that I've played Metroid 4 Prime. Prime 4? Is it Prime? Yeah. I'm going to have to ask
Prime 4.
Prime 4. Remember the prime rib becomes before noon. That's how I'm going to remember.
That's how you remember. That's your mnemonic.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Whatever works, honestly.
Yeah. It is my first Metroid game I've ever played in my entire life. And y'all get to hear about my thoughts here in a little bit. But of course, I have no housekeeping ready for you all. That's Kayla's job.
Wow.
And she's out potentially saving space or Earth, whatever planet we're on. Is it the solar system we're familiar with? I don't think so, but you know what I mean. Kayla is Samus. Or Kayla's on vacation and I just didn't do housekeeping. Next week is something really cool at JK Games, but I can't remember if it's next week or the week after. But there is something really cool coming up. Josh, do you remember what's on the calendar for next week?
On the calendar, I don't know if that's live or pre-recorded though, right?
Oh, it is pre-recorded.
That's pre-recorded.
And I think it
so we don't know.
On Wednesday.
There's a specific drop date. You could talk about what it is though.
Thank you. I forgot to ask that question before I just started talking about it. We are going to be joining No Small Games. I don't know what we're talking about yet. Is that correct?
Are you serious? That's awesome.
I don't know the topic yet.
That's correct.
I keep opening this up, so if Josh knows the topic, he can share. Or if Kayla, if you're in chat.
No, I don't think anyone knows the topic hasn't been nailed down, but the time and date of this that is happening has been decided. But yeah, it's going to be U4.
Oh, Josh, you're not joining us.
No, I decided this would be like a ladies' night, you know.
Oh, hell yeah.
yeah.
No, I mean, you're joining. You're always welcome to be a lady with us. Just saying.
I know.
But yeah, that's me doing housekeeping. Sorry, that was a shit show. But I am prepared to talk about Metroid.
I got a couple things real quick. I mean, if you don't mind.
Oh, Jordan.
Because if you want more Metroid content, that is. I played while Josh wrote Shoddy and we chatted. Right. That's up on Drop and Drop Out VOD, the YouTube channel. You can watch. It's like just shy of 3 hours of us going through the opening of the game. I started a whole new file just for the stream, just for the fans. And then Patrick and I talked about our impressions on Saturday. So that's up on YouTube and podcast services for the main channel for Dido. So sorry, Drop and Drop Outs. This is not Dido. So that's, I should probably elaborate on that abbreviation for your fans.
That's correct, though. You've been on a lot of Metroid content, so
some might say too much. Some might say that they're sick of me hearing me talk about it. But
no, I'm worried about you and your mental health and your ability to also have a life outside of Metroid. But it seems like you're still enjoying your time with it and you love talking about it. So it's impressive. And
thank you.
What?
I'm very brave.
Swanky Joinkers just said, "What? Does this guy like Metroid or something? What? Also,
Well,
coal mines.
Surprise.
I didn't realize there were so many Metroid games. Metroid
Yeah.
Steps. There's Metroid 4 Q
Quap.
2.
Quap, yeah.
I don't know what that is.
It's
Metroid the
you would like
Veilguard.
Quap.
Metroid
You
the
would like
Veilguard.
Quap. Quap is the original Baby Steps.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Metroid Andromeda. Metroid 4 Double Exposure. There's a lot of games I got to catch up
So
on.
this is a funny behind the scenes. We had a lot of technical difficulties tonight, just getting things running, just whatever. That's why
What's new?
my camera's weird. But
That wasn't to throw a shade at Josh.
no, yeah, I know. No, it's something. There's this podcast
We
is haunted.
are haunted.
It's Kayla's computer's exploded, your computer's exploded, now mine's is exploding. So Jordan, sorry, but being on this, something's gonna happen.
Yeah.
But
I already have a towel over my monitor because it's flickering for no reason. But
see,
go ahead.
but what I was gonna say is I was planning to do a little very silly activity, and the silly activity was gonna be like a brief lightning round quiz show. Because since we have our guest Jordan here, who's a Metroid expert, and it was gonna go to Jerica for this quiz, then go to Jordan, go to Jerica, and what I was gonna do is give you a category and just two options, and you'd have to pick. And the categories were like a Metroid or meat, which Jerica already alluded to. So it'd be like Prime or, sirloin. Well, which one's Metroid? Which one's, the meat? I had Metroid or Metairie, which was locations in Metairie, Louisiana. I had Metroid or Meteor, which is, meteorite names versus Metroid names. I had Metroid or MetLife, which is life insurance terms versus Metroid.
This is phenomenal.
Yeah, ran out of time, but just so you know what you're missing around here.
Hey, we got probably 20 years until the next game, so just hold it for that.
Yeah, okay. Coleman said Metroid Prime
Please
real
no.
estate, exactly. So with that was a great housekeeping, Jerica.
That's how we do it here.
Yeah,
We got
that was
everybody
great.
caught up. They know
We're
we're
caught
talking
up.
about Metroid.
Yeah. I'd say let's get right into the topic.
Let's get
We've
into
waited
it.
18 years for this game. So I'm in the middle of the framing. For audio listeners, there's no distinction. But essentially, Jerica has very little experience with the franchise. Jordan is the super fan. And I have been someone who also has enjoyed Metroid basically my whole life, but not quite to the extent of Jordan, right? So
He's a freak.
I'm going to be kind of guiding
kidding.
some of this. We have we've been doing video game book club for a long time on JKA Games. So we're taking it back to the old format. We're going to open this up with easy mode. Wow, easy mode.
Which is
You're
what
gonna
I
load up
need.
first?
This is the loadout.
We
the easy
loaded
mode.
out as good as we could.
So, to
those
start things
doors, yeah.
off, we're going to kick it off with Jerica, who you mentioned that this is your first Metroid game. So there's not much to say as far as your Metroid experience because, well, this is your first Metroid game. However, I did want to ask because you've played Silk Song, you've played other Metroidvanias. So since you played games in that genre, do you now playing a Metroid game, do you see maybe the commonality or like why things are called Metroidvanias?
Yes, and making sure that I understand for any other baby gamer out here, because
Yeah.
sometimes we
This
just
is
gotta
easy
take
mode,
it
so,
down we gotta take it down to the baby steps for some folks, including
Mhm.
myself sometimes. So I'm like, what's a Metrovania? What's a Souls like? What's a roguelike? What's all these likes? There's a lot of things we describe games as, but you hear so many of these terms get thrown out, and I'm like, which combination is it this time? But to answer your question, I do
Serious
see
enough.
I do see why these the games where you basically can go left or right in a 2D world versus what I'm experiencing here in Prime is that you're gonna have to backtrack a little bit. You're gonna see
Yeah.
things you can't unlock yet, which encourages you to explore and revisit places to continue leveling up or getting that pretty shiny artifact beyond the vagina door. So
Ooh, this might be a good time to talk about this just because we're
not
talking
in
about
every-
chat.
not in every Metroidvania
No.
game, but in
No,
this one.
No.
Do you want to know the reason for this?
Okay,
we can
so
talk about it right here.
is
Why not?
anyone talking about this? I'm really devastated
Oh,
that
yeah.
I
Online,
missed
yeah.
y'all's.
Everyone's talking about it.
Okay, good, because I was just thinking, I know
You
I'm a
thought it was just
gooner.
you. You thought it was
I
just
know
you.
I'm a gooner, but I'm like, this everywhere I turn. Have y'all seen that funny YouTube video of the lady? She's a lesbian walking down like the streets of New York, and she sees all these signs like Lebanese food,
Oh, yeah.
beaver, like all the
No.
signage.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm not a lesbian. That's how I feel in this game. Everywhere I turn, I see a vagina door.
Yeah.
So
So you thought it was just you. You saw the trailers, you saw the gameplay, and you're like, Is that what
that's a
happened?
clit.
That's what happened.
That's a slit.
I see. So this came up during when me and Jordan were streaming this. So the chat was talking about it. Everyone's talking about this, right? The design elements of Metroid Prime 4. And so look, I'll give you the short version. I was gonna do like a cognitive clip style essay, but I'm gonna give you the short version. Because you're new to the Metroid series.
I want to say that all the time, Jordan. I'm so glad you finally did, so I can say it more often.
I see.
Okay.
Well, so you're new to the Metroid series. So the first Metroid game, Jordan, what year did the first Metroid game come out in?
It was before I was born.
Spot.
It was like 86, I think, though.
Yeah, so around then, right? So the first Metroid game is heavily inspired by the 1979 movie Alien by Ridley Scott. So much so that the Metroid enemies function the same way. They latch onto your head and, they're parasitic, just like the alien in the movie. The visual aesthetics, the kind of tone, the atmosphere. This was all Nintendo's kind of... Metroid is almost like a fan game of Alien, but without the branding. And so much so, in fact, that one of the main enemies of the Metroid series is named Ridley, the director of Alien being Ridley Scott. So there's there's like a lot of similarities. Now in the Alien series, and I watched a whole like 3-hour documentary on this. It's very fascinating, but they use a lot of phallic imagery. They of course have H.R. Geiger as the main artist, who before even doing Alien art direction, he's known for his organic and phallic art expressions. And so the Alien movie uses the phallic imagery as a way to kind of show that kind of almost like sexual violence. And it's everywhere, from the ship designs, from the creature designs, from the alien designs, from the face hugger, literally like, grabbing onto your face. And so since Metroid is directly linked and inspired by both Alien and H.R. Geiger, the fact that all these Samus, I almost called her Metroid. Okay. Samus in this game, the premise is she gets transported to like this whole other unknown alien world. And suddenly all the imagery is very yonic. So it's very suggestive of female anatomy and forms. And so this is a direct inverse relation to the Alien movie and H.R. Geiger. So it is kind of the opposite form factors and expressions. And so this is very intentional. They haven't said that, but this is literally very intentional.
I think that's really cool.
That's
why. There's an artistic
history.
idea behind it. There's a reason for it.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I would have no reason if I had that in my game. Just for fun.
Of course. But that's the reason. Now you're caught up. It's not just you. It's not just your brain.
We're going to have to put this...
Kayla says that was a short answer, folks.
That was.
I appreciated it because I wanted to know more. I'm like, this is a lot.
That's the history.
They can't just be doing this and have no idea. So
no, they know.
I
they know
arguably you know more than us, but okay.
Depends on the day.
Depends on the day.
Depends on, I don't know. That doesn't make sense.
So I think we'll wait to hear your impressions of the game first. Okay, well, not yet. Save it because you haven't told us yet.
I do have to say one thing. I have to complain. Okay. I did sort of lie. This isn't my very first Metroid, but I haven't played enough to... This is technically the first one I have played longer than any. Like, I've probably played whatever came out last on the GameCube when I was in high school. Even then. Is that the third one? Did I play that one last?
Well, on GameCube,
would have been either the first or the second.
Yeah.
Whatever I played on GameCube was the only one I ever played, and I played like... I think I rented it and I was like, ew, I hate this.
Okay.
And then never played it again. I was like, this sucks. So that's all I'll say.
We'll return to you in a second.
Okay.
So we're going around with the Metroid experience. So for me, my first Metroid that I got into is Super Metroid on the Super Nintendo. So that's a third one. Well, unless you got the Game Boy one, that's the third console one. So you have Metroid. Well, I guess Metroid 2 is the Game Boy one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have Metroid on the NES, you have Metroid 2, and then Super Metroid is the third Metroid game. That's the one I really got into. And so that is just that whole world. It's such, the music is so good in Super Metroid, the level design, and even though the level design was very established in Metroid on the NES, I feel like it's perfected on the Super Nintendo. To me, it's one of the best examples of like a 2D Metroidvania. And I think a lot of the Metroidvania genre is borrowing a lot from Super Metroid in particular. I just love the level design, the backtracking, the item progression, like everything is like perfect. The music, the art, it just, so much about that game is wonderful. I remember there was like this neighborhood kid, and he was always that kid that had like every game, you know. And I'd be like, "Mom, I'm going to his house." And the parents, I don't even know where his parents were. You know, he's just like in the house alone, like all the time. Like I have no idea. And so he's just playing video games all day. He's just like always there.
Probably
like
because
guru.
he's playing these games with these doors.
He's
I
the
wouldn't come
gaming
out
guru.
either.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
And so he told me, and this is like one of those brags, he's like, I can beat Super Metroid in 45 minutes. I was like, there is no way. You're a liar. We're like kids. And you know, like back then there wasn't like speedrunning internet, you know. It was just like whatever. And so
you had to go not door to door to see like, hey, exactly. How fast can you beat this game? Bitch?
I was like, there's no way you could beat Super Metroid in 45 minutes. So I was like, you're gonna have to prove it. I went to his house, prove it. So he's sitting there, and sure enough, he did what's called, what do you call it? Like progression breaking or something? I don't know, whatever you call it.
Sequence breaking.
This dude's a kid. We're like 10 years old. He sequence breaks Super Metroid and skips like a bunch of progression by jumping over some wall or bomb jumping over some wall something. It was insane. This is the first time I've seen anything like that. And so that's my Super Metroid experience. Since then, I've loved the series, played pretty much every major release after that. Metroid Prime, of course, 1, 2, and 3. The DS games, all that. So I've been a big fan of Metroid since Super Metroid. What about you, Jordan? Let's go to Jordan, the guest and expert.
Yeah, that's where I started as well. I believe it was actually on the episode that Jerica and I did on here for like games from our past or whatever.
Yes.
You phrased it. You phrased it better than that.
I don't know.
So I think I may have said it then.
I don't even remember.
I think I may have said this. Yeah,
you nailed it.
Like I have an older brother. He's 3 years older than me, and I think Super came out in '94. So I would have been like 4 years old, which is like, you know, just on the cusp of maybe forming memories for like long-term storage in your brain unit. And I literally do not remember a time when I was not playing Super Metroid. Like that's like where I'm at.
His earliest,
of course,
memories.
There's also, you know, yeah, it was also, you know, Link to the Past. It was also Super Mario Kart, Super Mario World, all that for Super Nintendo. But Super Metroid is like one of the big ones in the rotation, so I've always loved it. I was definitely one of the skeptics when they went 3D for Prime, but I loved it. I ended up playing Metroid 2 like on a like family vacation. Like I think one of my cousins had it or something, so I just like, and much like Super, like a lot of the 2D games, like if you are somewhat adept at it or like know where you're going, it doesn't take super duper long to do it. You can knock most of them out in like 5 or less hours. So I ended up like beating Metroid 2 just in a couple of sittings on a family vacation. And then Prime 1, 2, and 3, of course. I actually never did hit the DS ones because it was like my timing with getting a DS versus when those games had come out and stuff, it never really lined up very well. Plus I heard it was kind of awkward anyway. It was like, one camp says it was like an incredible experience doing like first person shooting on the DS, and the other people say it was like the most awkward thing on the planet, and we only liked it because it was new.
Unique.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, just been a big fan ever since. And so of course Dread comes out. I skipped over Fusion, but yes, played that a lot. But Dread comes out, and the only game I've played more times, like I'm not talking like hours. I'm talking number of playthroughs. The only game I played more times all the way through than Metroid Prime 1 is Metroid Dread.
Yeah.
So like I would
I-
still consider Tears of the Kingdom to be my like number one game of all time, but Prime 1 is like number 2. Like real close behind it.
I own Metroid Dread, but I never beat it. But then you did a birthday stream where you played through it, and I just watched the entire thing. I watched you play Metroid Dread.
You did.
Yeah.
And Jerica was riding shoddy.
Yeah.
That was
I
fun.
saw things that I were interested in
Yeah.
playing one day, but not today.
What about Jordan?
Fun fact about sorry.
Go ahead first. You go.
I was saying, a fun fact about Dread is that it still includes ways to sequence break, which I actually never have bothered with.
Interesting. That's cool.
But they include like things that you won't see otherwise unless you're sequence breaking. So one of the early bosses, it's a returning boss from 1 and Super. It's Kraid, and in the battle there is a hidden little like ball bomb slot that will like launch you into his stomach. That's like a weak spot. But if you're not sequence breaking, you don't have that yet.
Yeah,
but if you
crazy.
have sequence broken and gotten the bomb early, then you can actually use it against him in the fight. So it's like you won't even know that unless you've
designed it for that. Yeah. What about this, Jordan? Because you've been playing your whole life basically. When did you find out that Metroid's a girl?
I mean, Super. Like Super, you don't even have to beat the game to see it because yeah, I know. Yeah, in Super, Jerica, like whenever she dies, she goes like, "Ah!" and like her like suit explodes off, and like it's not like anything erotic.
She's
it's
got
just,
something
like,
on,
but you can tell that it's a woman under the suit though. So like, yeah, I can't remember ever thinking that it was a boy because I just knew from dying.
It was a reveal in on the NES one for a lot of people. It was like a big reveal.
I think you had to beat it in under 2 hours, maybe something like that. It was like a timing based thing, and
which is cool for the 80s, right? And that's what I mean. This is another homage to like Alien, the movie with like really Sigourney Weaver, because a lot of these sci-fi and action movies, it's all like male. And video games, it's like men protagonists. So it was kind of a cool thing to have this sci-fi action shooter on the NES, and then all these people thinking they're playing like this cool guy, and then if you like speed run it, it's like, nope, this is a lady. So cool.
No, it's woke.
Yeah, that's what they'd be
Take
saying.
it back to the video store.
I'm with them. I'm still pretending that it's Sam, Aaron, and
Sam.
he's 6'10", burly man, and he is a lumberjack. He runs around. I'm just kidding. I'm so glad it's a lady.
Actually,
yeah, it's cool, huh?
Josh, you may know. I don't think Jerica's too far off from Samus's official height. Even she's like very tall.
She is tall.
Very tall.
She's tall.
Like,
yeah,
she is.
I'm impressed by
tall,
that.
metal mommy.
She's part bird too. You might not know that.
What?
Yeah.
Part bird.
Yeah.
How?
Jordan can explain it.
Yeah, when she was a child, her colony was attacked by the space pirates that like Ridley is one of the leaders of, and the people who found her, they're like a bird-like race, and they like infused their DNA with hers so that she could train to be a warrior and like use their technology and stuff. So like her power suit that she wears is Chozo technology, and it's like modular, so that's why you can always implement new stuff that you come across because it's like her suit like adapts to what she finds. But so technically part bird in the sense that like they've infused her their DNA with hers.
Are we talking like a seagull, chocobo, chicken?
No, they look freaky.
Okay.
Yeah. They're humanoid looking. They're humanoid looking birds.
Like they could be like in Skyrim. Like
or in Tears of the Kingdom, like the birds people.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Well, that's cool. Does Sam? I won't ask any more questions.
Blaster Goblin in chat. Subscribe with Prime. Subscribe for 10 months. Here's some of Jeff's money to convince you to make the next video game book club game, Jack and Daxter.
I've never played.
Hey, it's Naughty Dog.
This
could happen.
Jerica, you may remember from the stream, but this guy from Dread.
Yeah.
That's a Chozo. He's in armor, but that's a Chozo.
Okay.
So so Samus doesn't have wings or talons, but Chozo do.
So yeah,
Let's
that's
go.
okay. So that's everyone's.
Cat.
Let's go. Keep going.
Let's just go.
I
That's
love it.
everyone's.
Because I could ask a million questions about the
Of
bird
course you
stuff,
could.
and I'm not
Yeah.
going
Oh
to do
yeah.
that
That could
tonight.
be. It could be a whole thing. It's a whole
I
thing.
have a lot of
We can
questions.
take it off stream. We can take it off stream.
Oh, I'm suppressing the questions now, but I'm yeah.
Well, I'm curious though.
She's like cloaca, yes or no?
Yes.
No, because she's a human just with transfused bird.
Okay.
Like
of course, that
DNA,
makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like when people have transplants and they'll have like heart valves from a pig.
Yeah.
That's a real thing, by the way. That's not a joke. That's a thing.
So Jerica, you've been not telling us your opinion. This is your first Metroid game that you've played. So what's your first impression? Like, how are you liking it so far?
Oh, y'all.
You know what I was curious about? I'm going to do a leading question because you play Destiny 2, whatever. And this game is not a first-person shooter. It's an environmental. No, it's a more of a puzzly kind of game. And there's like jumping platforming, which reminds me a little bit about Destiny. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Here's my overall impression. I really, really, really love this game so far. Like, I love the puzzles. I love I love that there's so much of that. I didn't realize this was going to be a puzzle heavy game. And they're really hard at times for me. So I will go ahead and state where I'm at in the game. I just acquired the motorcycle. Okay. So I got that, and I'm trying to figure out what to do next. I don't know. Do I leave the towers, or do I have to go through tower 1 or 2 and 3 also? Like, I can't remember. But that is where I'm at, and that's where I was stuck.
You got the motorcycle and you're in the forge still. Like,
I'm inside, the buildings that like have all the electricity and stuff. So, but I've really enjoyed, like, I feel like every 30 minutes I'm getting introduced to a new mechanic or a new way of playing. And there's, like, for instance, the psychic gun, when you power it up and you have to, like, I don't know, you mentioned Destiny earlier. All this reminds me of is a Titan Arc Super, because like when you super as an Arc Titan, you're just like having to like basically like fly a rocket and control where it's going.
That little psychic beam thing.
And like steering that psychic beam is something I was just like, I didn't expect this in this game, and this is really cool. It's and you can and then like the second boss fight you encounter, like the thing with the vines with the eggs attached to it, whatever that was.
Yes.
When I was fighting that, I realized, oh, I can actually use the psychic little what is it, like a bullet that you have to control? I think it's called
the control beam.
Control beam.
I think it's literally called the control beam, I think.
And I was like, oh, let me try doing it this way. That I see all of like 4 of these. It's like it's vine legs. You got to take down all 4 vine legs to be able to take the boss or do really good damage. And I was like, oh shit, I can use that psychic beam gun thing, and like going around the whole room trying to hit those vines right in their weak points was really freaking cool.
Yeah.
And it doesn't just slow down time. Well, it's slowing down time, but like things could still hit you. So I was still getting hit at times and like having to pay attention to I couldn't just do that anytime. Like, it doesn't slow down time enough to where you can do that safely.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because I tried doing that in other weird situations as well.
But yeah,
like, it'll take you right back out of it. Yeah, I tried that too.
I'm enjoying it. Like, there's a lot of, am I a master of it? Is it hard for me to master right now? Yes, a little bit. So I'm trying to get good at the things it's teaching me first, and like using these abilities in this way. Going back and here's the deal. Here's the problem I'm having and why I'm struggling. Fucking Nintendo and their backwards buttons, whatever. We've talked about this before, but I'm just, oh my God, I'm hitting
the X and Y.
Yeah, I'm hitting the wrong buttons all the fucking time. So like I have used.
They were the first ones that have X and Y on their controller.
You've told me
everybody
before.
Else is backwards.
You've told me before. I said we've talked about this before, Jordan. I don't care.
You did. I'm sorry.
I will, in your defense.
Let's get all on the same page with our button mapping, okay?
Not just this is something I talked with Jordan about, is not just that I understand what you're saying, but but there are like a lot of button combinations for certain abilities and skills where you're having to like do this, then press this, then L, then hold that.
I want to rant because
Yeah.
why am I in the ball form? I have to jump with Y or whatever's on top, and then it's actually A. I don't know. I don't know. You know where I'm talking about. Like it's a different jump when I'm a ball and different jump when I'm not a ball. And I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. But I'm sure it's to do something else. And I'm like, ugh. It's hard because there's whatever you do when you have to turn into a ball, create and make another ball that you then have to get back into your normal form and then grab and throw.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes, there's a lot of steps.
I was struggling with that. I'm like, I hope I don't have to do this in battle because this takes too long. So things like that are obviously irritating to me, but I'm like, maybe I'm just not a gamer, I guess. Like, I don't know. I'm just going to take it easy. And hopefully I don't have to do that in a battle. Whatever
the
that
Dan
was.
Good Show in chat says there are a surprising amount of abilities for puzzles. I always miss the psychic bomb and the morph ball. The game has to keep reminding me. So yeah, sometimes I also forget. But one thing I wanted to say about those controls too. You know, I was telling Jordan this is like, it's so complicated where like that exact sequence where you said where you're like in the ball, you hold the bomb and then you hold L and then you grab the thing. I told him I'm pretending that I'm actually Samus in my suit and I'm having to like use buttons in the suit to like activate. Yeah, I'm like role playing. So like that's how it feels.
Okay.
Now, before we move on from you though, that was a great little intro from Jerica. But let's do a little quick round of me and Jordan, since you're a new player, asking you about some things that maybe we would take for granted in the series or other people, but then could be very new to you. And so I'll start. And the very first thing which you briefly mentioned is the morph ball situation. So what do you think about the morph ball in general?
He doesn't have a thought. No comment.
Huh?
What happened?
Could you hear
Jordan?
me?
I heard him. Can you hear me?
Oh.
I was like, what a pause for this one. I'm in suspense.
Oh no. What happened?
Jerica?
Oh no, he can't hear us. I was like, he's really keeping us in suspense for what he thinks about the morph ball. I'm like, man, he doesn't want to talk about it. He can't hear us.
No, Jerica, he's asking you.
Oh shit, I thought he was talking to you.
That was a question for you.
This is so funny. I was like, what is going on?
Josh, earlier you said I thought we're moving on to Jordan now. And I was like, okay, I can read the chat. I can't listen to y'all and also read chat at the same time.
You're so funny.
So you want me
I was like, man, what is going on?
I thought how I was partially listening. I thought you were he was gonna share what we might accidentally, not.
I could have worded it better, but basically, I want me to ask you a question, and Jordan to ask you a question. My question for you, Jerica,
thank you,
because you're new to the series. What do you think about the morph ball? This has been a series.
Doors are distracting. That's all I'm looking at right now.
She's just on the doors. Okay.
I have a whole photo album dedicated to these doors.
The screenshot. Don't look at her Switch photo library.
No. Hubba. What do I think about the morph ball?
Yeah.
I should just pause again and not say anything.
Just pause again.
The ball's cool. Like I like turning into a ball, it's fun. I roll around. They see me rolling. Is she hating? Not really.
I always think of rolling around at the speed of sound.
There
Sonic.
we go.
Yeah.
I will say like the only gripe I have is just like having to go into ball form and doing that plasma gun thing. Like that sucks.
Yeah. Okay.
But I loved how I had to use that in the first boss fight. Like I had to turn into ball to like avoid getting hit by the lasers. And then there's another area in like the 3D print room for the motorcycles. Like you have to like change shape so you don't get like electrocuted by the whatever that's called, the things that were coming towards me.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
But yeah, I like it's like a little break from what you're doing. So
yeah, it's fun. Fresh. How you can instantly kind of morph back and forth, and then when you get the bike, which you're in the tower, but it's very fast to like go from on foot to on the bike to back on foot to back in the morph ball. So it's very fun to like just be transforming a lot. What about you, Jordan? Do you have any questions for this Metroid newbie?
That wasn't a question for me, was it?
No,
Okay,
no, it's a question for Jordan to ask you a question.
Because then I started reading the
He was
chat
thinking.
again,
Yeah,
and
you're
I just
good.
see it's just everybody getting caught up for me not
Yeah,
answering the question.
Yeah.
Well, I hadn't really thought of one before now, but like as a Destiny sicko,
Hmm.
like, is it? Where are you as far as you're not having like an automatic assault rifle, and then that you have like the beam weapon that you can either do the semi-auto or charge it up for a stronger shot. Like how does that feel for you as someone who's a known sicko for a well-known first-person shooter?
A great first person shooter, yes. That feels really good in my hands. And what if I told you I have not even thought about Destiny while playing this? I've thought more about Halo, and that's how like my brain is sort of like latching on to like, okay, when I first started, I was like, this reminds me a lot of Halo. Like this is how a lot of the fights are, the enemies and companions and meeting them or whatever. I'm like, this is very Halo-like to me, but the controls are not Halo-like. It's not like any third-person shooter I've ever played. I wouldn't say it is. It's more like arcadey. So I was like, when you can like you can like lock in and like, believe it or not, it's more similar to Power Wash Simulator 1 and 2
Oh my God.
in terms of locking on to your what you're trying to clean or kill. And just like in Power Wash Simulator, I can hold down, I think it's left trigger or whatever, and then I can use my right trigger and pew 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 pew, I'm locking in. But I like shooting like this sometimes. I feel like I'm playing like an old arcade game when I do that. It's cool. I don't know if you're supposed to play like that, but I do occasionally.
So you're saying Metroid Prime 4 is like Power Wash Simulator 2?
Yeah. In terms of what I've played in my life, that's what it compares to. Yeah.
This is my new favorite take. I love this so much.
Yeah.
This is a new one for sure.
The gameplay reminds me of that. It's just obviously way more danger. Enemies are in this game. You don't have those in Power Wash Simulator, but I am cautious of the gnomes that keep showing up in that game. So
I have to touch on this real quick because you mentioned Halo, and a lot of people have been mentioning Halo, and it actually turns out that there are some former 343 Studios devs who are now part of Retro Studios and therefore helped work on Metroid Prime 4. And so some folks are like, oh, like, but like here's the thing, and like none of that take is wrong. By the way, this is not one of those like the internet's an idiots and blah blah blah. This is not that. What trips me up, it makes me chuckle, is that so I had this just shameless self-plugging. I had like a Metroid Prime 1 through 3 retrospective video that I did, just kind of going through like the story so far before 4 came out. And to get some footage for that, I popped in my disc of Metroid Prime 3 that's sitting 10 feet away and into my Wii and captured some footage. The intro segment of 4 is very, very much like, it's not beat for beat, it's not identical, but it's like very stylistically similar to the intro for 3. Like, you are teaming up with Federation people to stop this threat that's happening right there, and then like some crazy thing happens that kicks off the actual narrative, and so like everyone who's comparing it to Halo is not wrong, but the thing is between 2007 when Prime 3 came out and now, obviously 18 years, we can math, 0 Metroid Prime games, at least 7 Halo games.
So funny.
That's why there's more of that. So that's what people are going to think of. It's the only thing I thought of, but it's not the gameplay. It's just like,
no, I get it.
The environments and stuff.
The vibe. Sure. Because like the entire second Halo trilogy.
Some people might sign up for this thinking that is the case, and maybe like me and never have played one, and like, finally I can play a cool 4K 120 hertz. It's not 4K and 120, I know, but oh wow, graphically impressive game on the Switch 2, finally. And then they play, and there's like nothing like Halo. So I'm sure that could be confusing some folks.
Sears Shard says 343 devs said they were inspired by Metroid for Halo 4, so it's full circle. Yeah.
Oh.
There you go.
No, for real. Like, I'm gonna pause this Metroid discussion to defend Halo 4 because people hate Halo 4, and I know that it was weird, like narratively.
It's fine.
And the whole concept of like being on that planet that's like enclosed in some sort of like sci-fi Dyson sphere thing, right? Is that right, Josh? Dyson? Am I saying the right thing?
You got it. You got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like this planet that's like enclosed in this like sphere that like you can't leave until you like it's all like that was an incredibly cool concept. I love like the gameplay of it. The narrative was kind of strange. Like they kind of like brought the Forerunner stuff up and then like it didn't really lead too much of anywhere. But like just stylistically, like sci-fi wise, super duper awesome. So I just want to stand up for Halo 4 for 2 seconds here and during this Metroid podcast.
I'm curious. Josh, you might get to this later, but I do want us to talk about story and how impactful it's been for the Metroid expert. Because I'm wondering if I'm going to be honest, you know, watch some of COG's videos. I've watched videos on like the storyline. I know the 2D and 3D timeline is completely different. So there's a lot in the story that I don't have like the connection to, but I'm aware of things. So I'm like, what is going to be the new? Obviously, this ancient race is saying that Samus is the chosen one now, and I'm like just blindly following their direction, which I don't think is smart. But whatever. But like, I guess she's like, I've done this before. I'll do it again. But regardless, Josh, you might be getting to this, so I didn't want to jump ahead.
We could put it right here because the conversation's flowing. So
flowing.
What's funny is I mentioned this exact same thing you're talking about. I also mentioned to Jordan where it's like it's kind of funny at the beginning of the game. You're like saving this Federation. There's like whatever this base, and all of a sudden, you're at this alien place, and they're like, oh, now you're doing this stuff, and she's like, oh yeah, okay, let's go.
Cool, normal Wednesday night for Samus.
Yeah,
it's like whatever. I have nothing better to do.
Yeah. Jordan, what do you think about that?
It is past 5 o'clock.
Without getting too much into like spoiler territory for how far you are, but what do you think about the like what Jerica's saying? What about the narrative compared to maybe some of the other games?
Yeah, no, I'm very, very close to the end. I'm pretty sure, like without it like being explicitly said on the screen, I'm pretty sure that I'm at the point of no return. Like I'm still wandering around, but like if I go and do and say yes to a question, then like I think it's gonna be like final stretch time.
Is a question? Did you find the last door? Did you find it?
Never.
Are you still looking?
The doors are never ending plot twist.
Gotta find the magic lock. I'm sorry, Jordan.
You mean the key to open the lock?
Yes.
Oh no, I guess you need to find both, don't you? You need to find both.
Yeah, that's how things work. I don't know. I don't work at Home Depot, so I don't know how any of that works.
I'll go anyway, Metroid.
Before you keep going, I do have a concern that this ancient race that's coming through in holograms talking to Samus and just letting her do whatever and leading her. I do feel like it might be too generic. And is it leaving without spoiling all of us? Am I on the right path? I hope it's not as generic as I'm feeling for it, right? Like it feels generic to me right now. Doesn't seem special.
So I will say the chosen one trope is pretty played out by now in the year of our Lord 2025. So you're not wrong. I will say that I still have found myself enjoying like the more of these holograms you find, the more scanning you do in the different areas to kind of find out like the kind of things that how their civilization operated, the things that they tried to do to advance themselves. Like this was in the stream, I think. And so you've already seen it. But like one of the earlier holograms you find, very, very, very minor spoiler for anyone who's listening. Skip ahead like 10 seconds. Like they mention, oh yeah, we were in our like technology era, and it was so awesome, but then we realized we were depleting our own resources too quickly, so we just abandoned it, and that's why the forge is like not even operational. I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like you find cool these little things like it. Yeah. So yeah, the whole chosen one thing is, you know, one of the oldest story tropes in human existence. So yeah, from like a jumping off point for the story, that was pretty like uninteresting, for lack of a better term.
Does it get interesting?
But I do still think that I think they did some cool things with it.
Okay. Cool.
Like the more I've been finding out, And because yeah, it's one of those things that this is the case in Metroid Prime 1 and 2 and 3 as well, where aside from like the, obviously you have the golden path, so to speak, as far as the reaching the end credits or whatever. And if you want to know more and you want to learn more about the world that you're exploring and all that kind of stuff, like you can scan like all the nooks and crannies and learn whatever you want to. You can, I think it was, I can't remember if it was Logan Plant for IGN or somebody else who was saying like, when you're in the Volt Forge, that factory, like the first new area you go to after the jungle, it's like, you can scan all the mechanical parts in the room to find out like what function they're serving for like the assembly line or whatever else. And it's like, they didn't need to do that, but it's cool that they put that much effort into like the world building. And again, also, like if that's not,
it makes someone like a new player though, feel like maybe I need to scan all this to get something to work. And I'm like, oh God, there's too much stuff to scan. I got a little overwhelmed by it, believe it or not. Yeah. I was like,
scanning,
oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, I was like, I don't, because I'm like, I say, open this door, let me scan every single thing in this room to see if I can figure out how to get out of here. But at the same time, I did learn stuff. So that's cool. They're forcing me to learn, which I guess is a win.
Yeah. The Prime games are pretty good about this, that generally speaking, I won't like say more than this. Generally speaking, the important things that you need to scan to progress like into the next area or whatever, like they might be a different color than all the other things around it.
Like the health.
Just something to keep in mind.
I had to text Jordan the other night and I was like, what is all the different colored
balls?
What
are these different little orbs?
Are they giving me a shield or health? It's all healing me. I was like, cool. All the balls heal me.
Lore-wise, lore-wise, it is technically a shield, but it functions like health for like game purposes.
Okay.
Like essentially when her when the shielding around her suit depletes, that's when she's exposed to the open air and alien worlds and dies and has no protection or whatever. So technically that's why it says like energy and not health or HP or whatever, but functions the same as. It's kind of like whenever they throw like a K at the end of Magic for a game. It's like, we know what you are. Like it's pronounced the same way. It's doing the same thing, but like you're just trying to be cool, and maybe you are cool.
A little quick catch up on chat too. Sears Shard says, I normally don't like games where all the lore are journals and whatnot littered about, but Metroid makes it work better. It's less of a chore. Yeah, and P-Schwag was asking if the Chozo one is something, and
I'm so glad you read that. I like
Kayla
that
Gray
one.
said Chorizo one. You guys would have loved my scrapped game, Metroid or MetLife.
I mean, we can
or
play
Metroid or Metairie, Metroid or Meat, or Metroid.
We can do this next week.
Yeah, it's a whole game.
Anyway, we can
make
it happen.
I love chorizo so much, and this is
not
a
chorizo podcast.
I am obsessed with chorizo.
Yeah,
like,
it is delicious.
So we're gonna backtrack a little bit.
Like every time I eat it, it takes like 5 years off my lifespan. But it's so good.
We're still in hard mode actually, which I don't think we did the. This has been. You've been listening to hard mode. We did easy mode. We've been in hard mode though. So
I don't think we do. I don't think we reload out, do we? Like
we can. It's all free game when Kayla's not here. We can do whatever we want.
Yeah. We get extra loadouts.
Here we go.
She said expert.
Got a helmet now.
Oh, sorry, normal mode. I meant normal mode. Don't worry about it. Okay.
Medium.
Don't worry.
This is what happens when you leave, Kayla.
So listen.
I hope you're happy.
She wasn't here for the housekeeping, so just don't watch the VOD. Now listen,
housekeeping.
We're backtrack a little. So it sounds like Jerica has really enjoyed her time so far. So
yes.
Let me tell you a little bit about what I think, which is I'm having a great time as well. To me, this feels like we've waited 18 years for this game, and it feels like no time has passed. This feels like a game from another era, but with all the modern 2025 kind of graphics and everything like that. And I've been saying for years, like, why don't they make games like they used to? Like, okay, a hub world. Where's hub worlds gone? Where have they gone? Give me a hub world.
Where is them?
As soon as I played this and I got to this beautiful desert, which is gorgeous, by the way, and not empty, like people say. And the premise of this game is very set up like Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, which is one of my favorite games of all time. this is basically like the Hyrule field of Metroid, right? And this is new to the series. So a lot of times the Metroid Prime games, you are backtracking and stuff, but it's just within one giant level. And so I love having this central hub where you can go to these other little areas that are themed differently. It's very Zelda feeling to me, and I love that about this. Similarly, like what Jericho was saying, just they didn't lean in. I was worried they would lean more into like the first person shooter, the shooting aspect to just appeal to modern tastes, but they really didn't. There's sections of this game where you'll go for many minutes with no enemies, essentially. And I just love that. Like, I feel like some games that even claim to be like kind of puzzly first person games, they introduce too much combat to the point where it feels a little forced. And so I love the balance so far of this where you might be just driving around in the desert and sometimes little enemies will pop up here and there, but for the most part, you're alone. A lot of these levels you explore, even they look ominous, like the Volt Factory. It looks very ominous, and until you're really getting out of it and there's like a few enemies you have to defeat, for a lot of it you're just exploring it and there's not really like that much like enemies challenging you. The challenge is more of the environment and where to go and doing like little puzzles. And so I just think they really did a great job of carrying on that legacy of the Prime games into 2025, and it feels so much like a classic game that I've been yearning for decades. So I'm really enjoying it. This is like, I mean, this could be game of the year 2025 and 2026 because it's right, it's on the line. So this could be two in a row. But I'm just really enjoying my time so far. We'll see. I'm not quite as far as Jordan, so I've unlocked my first beam upgrade, I suppose the best way to put it. And a funny thing, like Jerica's mentioning, like, where do I go? A lot of this is about backtracking, and I accidentally went in the wrong order. So because you don't know where to go, so they tell you like once you get out, Jerica, into the big desert, they tell you like, oh, here you can check out like one of these 3 places or whatever. It's like a Zelda game, like a volcano, a ice mountain, or like a whatever. It's very like
that's exciting.
stereotypical, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, let me go over here, and I was like, well, I can't do anything over here now. Let me go to this other one. They're like, oh, nope, can't do anything over here either. So it is funny where it's like you have to realize like what your limitations are, what upgrades Samus has, and like, well, clearly this, and it'd be interesting for Jerica because a lot of these abilities are kind of passed over through the certain Prime games. So like you might not know what you're about to unlock because you just know you can't progress, but someone who's played it a lot is going to know like, oh, for this thing I need this, or for this I need this, So that's going to be interesting for you, I think. So yeah, that's my.
I just so happen to. I just so happen to go to the correct place, like correct, quote unquote, first, because that's where I wanted to go there. I was like, oh, I guess this is where I was supposed to be because
so funny.
XYZ just happened, and okay, well, all right.
It's because you're an expert.
He's an expert. He sniffed it out. So Jordan, what as the expert, and you're almost done with the game. So what is your, without really, don't spoil the story or anything, but
yeah, I wouldn't dare.
You've done a lot of first impressions over the weekend, but now that you're further, this is one of the first ones where you're like almost done with the game. So where does this fall in the series for you?
Almost done with the game impression.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was saying somewhere recently, maybe with Patrick, that actually eclipsing the first one is such like something that is maybe unattainable in the future. I have no idea. But I think that it still lives up to the series name very, very well. I think that at this point, I would probably place it like as far as like Prime 1 through 4, I'd probably place it my second favorite, like after Prime 1. Like, because I'm just having so much fun, and like I said this again, I'm gonna be repeating myself a lot from how much I've been talking about it, so just bear with me. Everyone who's in the chat who's been following along for this, I'm so sorry. / I love you. But like I was telling Jerica before we went live, I mean, I I started the stream with you on Friday night, and we went for close to 3 hours total, like including like the mic checks and the first few minutes and all that stuff. And that was me starting a brand new file on a Friday after I already put 9 hours in the system clock on Thursday on the first day, because I took the day off and I played like as much as I could throughout the day while I was still being a dad and doing dad things, and while my wife was out of town. And then after we got off the stream that night, I couldn't help myself. I jumped back into my own file, my own first file, because like nothing can make me sick of this game. I cannot stop playing this game because I'm just enjoying like every bit that I'm doing. And to your point, I mean, even the desert stuff that people like, I see where the controversy comes from for some people of like, just they don't think that there's enough to do or things like that. But like, I personally don't feel that way. I think that maybe we're just way too, you've heard of alcohol poisoning. This is the thing.
Oh.
Yeah. We've all heard of this.
Yeah.
I think we have like open world poisoning at this point in gaming, because we're so used to everything not only having an open world to some degree, but also it being littered with like 15,000 things to do. And it really takes the same approach as a Hyrule Field, or even, I mean, I feel like Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom still did a really good job of balancing, like, you're not tripping over a shrine every 5 feet. You've still got to hunt down. You still got to explore to find them, And I think that the desert is the same kind of way, where there is some really cool stuff to find in there, and it's stuff that like I was actively hunting down, because I figured, well, if I found one of these, there's got to be more than one of those, right? And I enjoyed the first one that I found, and sure enough, I was correct. And all the ones that I could find, they were all enjoyable. They were all really cool. They all led to these optional upgrades or expansions or whatever else for your arsenal. And even aside from the like how stuff is spaced out, I still think that even being in the desert, you can still look out and see all, like, I love how you can stand there, kind of like, again, Hyrule Field. You could be in the desert and look over this way and see the giant tree from like the jungle that you start in, and then you look over the other direction, you see the giant mountain that you can go to later. You see the volcano in the distance. You see this, and like you see the giant storm cell for the Volt Forge, which is awesome to see, like just from a distance, and you just see this just giant storm cell. You see the lightning in the distance, all this cool stuff, and like I think they found a way to make a desert pretty interesting, to be honest. And again, I know it's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it worked for me. I don't think that it was.
People are complaining that it's just too empty. That's truly what it is. I mean, you don't have to go into it, but
Jerica.
Here's the deal though. Like, I'm sort of thankful it's not busy and million things coming at me. It's peaceful. Like
Right.
I saw that Sear Shard mentioned, like, was it you? Was it Sarah? Sorry, I lost track of the chat. It might not have been you. But
It
someone's
was.
they're not bummed out by the desert because they also enjoy Death Stranding. Same here. Like, I love solitude, and this game, I could tell at moments, is full of that, and just you trying to figure out where to go next. And it's very peaceful. Like, I love that kind of experience. So I'm glad that this, I guess the studio decided to not take that approach and try to evolve the game into something else. Like, I'm glad they just stuck to the formula that works and just expanded on it a little bit.
I haven't gone back to find it. Or actually, there's a short that I can't remember if it was I posted or that we posted for Dido, but it was the episode where it was like Jerica, it was me, you, and Patrick. I think it was just like it was just the three of us talking about like one of the new trailers for the bike that they first.
Oh yeah,
Jake was there too.
I was shitting on it because of the fucking graphics, but come back around to me because I have a statement. Don't no one else talk about the graphics. Let me talk about them.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask you actually, so don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. But like I'm pretty sure in one of those pieces of content that we did, I said something like, people are just people just don't. They just jump to conclusions all the time and don't think about things. That people were like, oh, they made Metroid open world. That's so not how the games play. I was like, this is not going to be an open world. I think I said literally, it says something like, this is probably going to be some central area that connects to all the rest of the places. Cogstradamus strikes again. But,
Got it.
I mean, you just know
graphics.
your Metroids, so it makes sense.
So yeah, we are. I am
Yeah,
going to
I
ask you about
also-
the graphics, but to respect everyone's time, so we can get to playing some more Metroid, we're going to do the last little expert mode here, just for the last few minutes here. And so I don't know, expert mode, you go like whatever. And there's two things we're going to talk about real quick. Oh, look,
He's ready.
he's fully.
He's got a lamp
So
on
yeah,
his head.
actually, I did want to talk about the technical aspect of this, and Jerica is she's the monitor lady, right? So have you tried the different graphics modes? What are you playing it on, and what's your opinion?
Of course, you know.
I knew you messed
know,
with the settings.
Metroid Prime 4 Beyond Prime 4 is not my game of the year. It's not, obviously. It isn't going to make my top 5 either. But I'm still a fan. But let me tell you, it has taken a #1 slot in my life, though.
Whoa.
In the last 10 years, how long the Switch has been out, and I'm going to clump in the Switch as well. The Switch and the Switch 2. I mean, the Switch 2 just came out, but still. I didn't believe.
Clump it, girl.
I didn't believe that this little console could produce such a beautiful game that runs at either 64K or 120 1080p, like flawlessly. The game looks incredible. Like it is. No one has any excuses. No one has an excuse from the Nintendo squad now. They put out another shitty looking Pokemon game. I'm gonna show up. I'm like, y'all need to share resources here, because this is what's hurting your. Actually, it won't, because people will keep buying the crappy looking stuff. Best looking game I've played on Nintendo in years. Like it is a top looking. Like it compares to a next gen console experience from these other places, or other consoles and PCs, whatever you want to compare it to. And I've went back and forth between 4K and 1080, and I'm actually enjoying. Like I go back and forth, but 120 might be a little too smooth for me.
Oh,
and
interesting.
I like 60 is actually a sweet spot for me. There's not a lot of fast paced action in this game, so I'm not really having to run it on 120 for that reason. So I'm taking in the quality, more of a 4K experience. Like 60 looks really, really good for me. It's not bad.
You know what's crazy? I have been playing a lot on handheld, and I've been doing on handheld. The options are a little different because it's handheld, but it's 1080 4K or it's 100. No, it's not 1080 4K. What am I talking about? You know what I'm saying?
One of those things.
It's
1080 60 or 720 120.
It's 720 120 hertz, right? I was like, ew, 720. I was like, oh, but I tried it, and honestly, it looks great even at 720. So it's their texturing, it's their lighting, it's just everything looks so good in this game. So Jordan, you did mention you wanted to talk a little bit about the atmosphere and everything. I think this ties into that. Is that correct?
Yes. Oh my goodness, dude. Like, because there, I won't even spoil like specific things of what I'm talking about. But I mean, Josh mentioned earlier the earliest game, like the first Metroid game, it was heavily inspired by Alien. And so, focusing on that isolation, you're in this like alien creepy world. And for those who don't know, such as Jerica, this is something kind of cool that, so first game, obviously you save the day and whatever, you destroy the space pirate base on this planet Zebus. And then
That's funny.
Super Metroid, which is Metroid 3, you actually go back to Zebus. You're on the same planet as the first game. So it's almost like they do that sometimes with sequels these days, where it's like, oh, you're going back and you're seeing the old place, but it's like, kind of half burned down or it's half destroyed or whatever else, and like recontextualizing it, and they've rebuilt the base and all this stuff. And but man, like there are still some aspects of Super Metroid that still creep me out. I've been playing it for 30 years and it still creeps me out sometimes, like the way that the music or like the enemy design or whatever. So the Prime games, they kind of towed the line a bit. Like the first game didn't really have much creepy stuff. I mean, the Metroids themselves are creepy. So there's like a couple of segments where you're like in low lighting with the Metroids trying to hunt you down kind of thing, which is pretty creepy, but like that was pretty brief. And then the second game, the whole dark world aesthetic kind of just naturally is a little bit uneasy, but third game was mostly bright, and not that it
Yeah.
was like lighthearted, but just it wasn't very like spooky, creepy. There are two entire areas in this game that are like amazingly unsettling. Like
Ooh,
Wow.
let's
Ooh, I
go.
haven't even been to
I will
these.
not.
Yeah.
I will not even. Again, I'm not gonna go any further than saying this, Jerica. There was one part of one of these areas that I was like, "This is Mass Effect 2." And I won't tell you what part of Mass
Oh.
Effect 2. I won't tell you what area, but I was
Ooh.
like, I cannot wait to talk about this with people who have played both of these games because, like, yeah, I played through one. I was talking to Sirius. I was like sending DMs to him the other day because I knew that he had beat the game, so I was safe and telling him where I was and stuff. And I was like, I just went through XYZ, and holy crap, like that was so tense, like so creepy.
Let's
So
go.
I just,
Yeah, I'm excited.
yeah, I am all about it. And even in the areas that aren't as creepy though, like again, the vibe, the atmosphere is so cool. I was gushing on the stream and to Patrick, so multiple times in the past few days of the Vault Forge. Like you
Yeah,
first get
yeah.
there, it's got cool vibes. It's like this weird like techno, like dark lightning strikes, all this stuff. And it's kind of like the music is cool, but it's kind of understated. And then you go do that pretty easy little puzzle, and you roll down the thing, and you like hit the bomb for the lightning rod to open back up again. And it's like, and like the music just like kicks in right then. I was like, oh, we're so back. We are so
We're
back. And
back.
it's like, oh, like this, like that weird, like kind of like,
Synthy choir singing. Yeah.
yes, choir. I was
Yeah.
like, I
love
couldn't
that
think of the
stuff.
word.
Yeah, it sounds
choir.
good.
Yeah,
The music is phenomenal in
Yeah.
this game. Yeah.
so good.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Wow.
I am just I don't know how you all are feeling about the atmosphere. Like, does it like?
I love
and even
it.
again, even in the places that are supposed to be more beautiful or more like ethereal, like those are when you first wake up and at the temple thing in the desert, and it's just like this, like again, kind of weird, like creepy choiry kind of, but not
Yeah.
creepy, ethereal, like this
Yeah.
like ethereal choir, and you're like, where am I? What is this? Like, same with the jungle, that beautiful soundtrack in the background. It's like just vibes off the chart in this game.
The sound effects, like with headphones on, especially in the jungle and some of the environments, there's like all
Mm.
these little creature sounds and environmental sounds, and the stereo is really good. It just really good sound design to match the beautiful visuals. Really enjoying it. So
That's what I'm hoping for, is that like I'm with Jerica in that I don't think I'm not gonna finish that sentence actually.
Oh, okay.
What I will say, I don't think that this is going to be nominated for like GOTY at the Game Awards next year. But by golly, if it's not nominated for sound design and or OST, come on, like
yeah.
the sound design is incredible. Like, because then, like you're saying, even aside from the environmental sounds, like all the weapon sounds, like the different beams and the missiles and stuff that you have, like they all have their own kind of like aesthetic, musically or like sound effects wise, and like the way that the missiles like you like shoot off and like kind of like spiral out and like
and sometimes when you miss, it kind of goes in the
it's-
wrong direction and stuff. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Gordon, I have a question, theoretical question. If next year for the Game Awards, obviously this might get a nomination, but what if Expedition Zero comes out? Not that's the beginning of how it starts, not 33. I couldn't think of another number, like 44 doesn't make they went for such a long time. Expedition Zero or a prequel series came out. Like, which one would win the best soundtrack if both Metroid Prime 4 Prime Stake is out and then Expedition sequel? Not that that's coming out next year, but what if it did?
That's so tricky because like they're both so excellent for what they're going for.
Like, what if it was nominated this year? Like, what would you? Which one would you pick? You have to pick.
For soundtrack, I would have to go Expedition, like because of just like
I'm still leaning.
Metroid
I would still
Prime
go that
4,
way too.
Yeah, Metroid Prime 4. I'm loving all the music and the soundtrack and stuff, but it's not quite yanking my heart out of its chest and drop kicking it across a football field. The way that the Expedition 33 soundtrack is.
But you gotta think about it.
In my Spotify Wrapped, in my Spotify Wrapped, both versions of the soundtrack were in my Spotify Wrapped
That's
top
so
5
funny.
albums.
I love that.
That's so funny.
That's glorious. Well, cool.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm ready
yeah.
to play some more, y'all.
I know we can get back to it. Is there any last thoughts? Jerica, this is your first experience. It sounded like you really enjoyed it. So do you have any closing comments?
Please, God, don't let it get any tougher with the puzzles, but I know it's going to, and I just get lost. I need more direction. Please, God, let me be able to figure out how to progress in this game. If not, I'm just going to text COG. So
that's true. You have a expert resource, the Nintendo tip line. One piece of advice, if especially because this happened to me, kind of leaving and exploring where to go next. If you feel like there's things you can't interact with or you don't have the thing, just go somewhere else. Because
that's
there's
really
probably
good
just
advice.
you just can't
not worth it yet.
Yeah. But yeah, what about you, Jordan? Any closing thoughts? You've been on a lot of these podcasts lately. You're a frequent guest for Metroid content. This is your busy season.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's COG season, baby.
Yeah.
We talked about first impressions the other day, and I'm like several hours beyond that and beyond. And my adoration and my love for the game has not dwindled an ounce. So my hype, my enjoyment has kept steady since the couple hours we talked about it on Saturday. Now it's Monday. I'm probably gonna savor it. I'm probably gonna go to bed early or go to bed soon and not actually beat the game tonight like I could. But I'm so high on this game and so glad that it actually exists after 18 years in between. So.
And so my final thoughts too, similarly, I think, especially being content creators or whatever, right? We're so used to, I don't know, having to try to play the latest and greatest thing like quickly or just kind of rush through things. I'll admit, even Expedition 33, which is one of my favorite games of the year, I didn't get to do a lot of the side stuff because I just felt like I needed to go and wrap things up and get to the next new game that was coming out. I'm having such a good time with Metroid Prime 4 and it's reminding me of this other era. It's taking me back to a time when I was a little bit younger and things were a little bit simpler, where I could just spend the time to just wander around and just goof off and whatever. And so I'm not that far in it yet, even though I've put in a pretty good amount of time. I was just driving around the desert, just smashing into rocks just over and over again for no reason,
I'm so glad it came out in December. It does seem like it's reminiscent of finally we have some time off work. Maybe have some, I don't have as much time, but we are finding ourselves in holiday time off, so it'd be a nice little game to play day after Christmas or whatever.
It's giving me I don't know if cozy vibes are the right word, but it's taking me back. It's giving me that kind of a feeling.
Playing a game on the N64 or the GameCube, whatever, man.
I'm savoring this.
On my mic.
Exactly. We waited 18 years for the sequel. I'm not trying to speed run it to the end. I'm trying to really take my time with it. So I don't know when I'll beat this. I'm definitely going to beat it, but I'm loving my time so far. And this has been a fun podcast to kind of go over. It's really cool that Jerica, this is your first one. Me and Jordan are very excited for you to play this. And actually we need the full, Jerica, you are known on the internet now, becoming known for giving your opinion on whether you need to play any of the other games in the sequel or not.
I got some ideas cooking already.
So what's your quick verdict without having beat it? What is your verdict here?
What do you think? You don't have to play any Metroid game. Just go watch Jordan's video. You'll be fine. Jump in. Don't play something from 18 years ago. Why are you going to do that to yourself? Play one of the best looking best looking Nintendo game of all time right now on your Switch or Switch 2. It looks great. Don't do that to yourself. I mean, Dread's pretty great. I think the way that might be a good experience. So I'll take that back. Just, Dread might be worth your time. That's a different timeline. You don't even have to play that.
I'm gonna be a super nerd and correct you there.
Oh, don't do it. Don't do it. You can't separate. Nope. You can't do that on the show. Not anymore. You've lost your chance. Let me have this time. Next time.
What I have said to people, because somebody asked, I think just like a brawl, oh hey, whoever's playing this, do I need to play the other ones? And I'm like, I know Jerica got flack for this. I'm with you, Jerica. I'm not a purist. You do not have to have played these games. So what I will say is, if you're concerned about like the lore stuff or whatever, then don't worry about that. Just jump in. If you're concerned about whether or not you'll vibe with like the play style, then sure, go ahead and go for the cheaper one. Go with Metroid Prime Remastered on the Switch. Plays great on the Switch 2 as well. Also still looks fantastic. Because the games do play and operate a lot like very similar as far as, you know, locking on and strafing and scanning and all the stuff that Prime 4 is doing. Like base mechanics are all carried over from Prime 1, 2, and 3. So like that's kind of my answer for that is like,
keep it simple. Let's keep it simple. You don't have to play any of them. Just tell the world like they want to be told. They can hate me. They don't have to hate you, but I'll be the one to say, don't fucking waste your time. Who's got time to play all these games? I could barely play this one. You don't have to play them. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say it on the internet over and over because another reason would be I want them to sell as many copies of this game because Samus deserves to be front and center for Nintendo, and it just doesn't happen. I was bitching about it in the middle of the year when we saw the trailer. Y'all just buy this game. Don't play the other ones. I don't want anyone to know what they're signing up for. Just play it.
You can clip this. You can put me on the record. Yeah. I have a very good feeling this is going to be the highest selling game in the series. I have a feeling because like. Not only is it just excellent, not only is it like the most technically impressive Nintendo game that's ever been released ever, but also I mean like you could look at charts on different storefronts for weeks. It's been in the top 5, you know, best selling Switch 2 titles, Switch 1 titles, for weeks now. So I think we're going to see that like once the numbers come out, it's not going to be like Tears of the Kingdom numbers, I don't think, but it's going to be the best selling of the franchise.
The fact that this is also on Switch 1, which has a massive install base, is definitely going to help.
And Digital Foundry already said Switch 1 version.
That's good.
Last thing.
Yes.
I was going to say, we need to clip this and make sure Jordan's in my video. I'll take the hate. But I want to be shown that a Metroid expert is backing me up on this, that you don't have to play the other games. Okay. I just want that on the record.
Yeah,
Jordan,
do
you have to play the other
games? Sorry, one more time.
I said, Jordan, do you have to play the other Metroid Prime 4 games? Do you have to play the other Metroid Prime games?
You don't have to. This Prime 4 is starting off a whole brand new storyline anyway. So if you're worried about being lost from the narrative, don't be. Just jump on in and enjoy it.
There you go. You heard it here first, folks.
Put that in my casket or in my PlayStation where you put my ashes. I want that message to just be played at my funeral.
Okay. Well,
along with all the doors, the screenshots of the doors you took.
Yep.
I have a whole presentation for my funeral. It's going to be great. Let's be part of it too. All right.
Jordan, thanks for joining us to talk about Metroid Prime
Thank you for having me.
And that's going to be it. Thanks.
Real.
Sirius has followed you around to every one of your appearances, I believe. So,
wow.
Thanks, Sirius, for being a massive Jordan/Metroid fan. Wow. And that's going to be it for tonight. Thanks to all the viewers and listeners. And what do we got coming up next? Well, you'll have to wait and see.
Yeah.
But
once they figure it out, they'll tell you.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah. We'll
all
let
right.
you know.
Until next time, goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.